Alright, now this is the first of three Disney Channel original movies that I'm going to review revolving around Halloween scary, spooky stuff. This is Phantom of the Megaplex, released in 2000. And it's about this teenager named Pete. He works at this Megaplex, this movie theater. And every time something goes wrong, they blame it on the Phantom of the Megaplex. They say that there's someone who died back in the olden days and his spirit comes around and messes with stuff. And so when it's time for this big premiere to happen, stuff starts going wrong, and of course they blame it on the Phantom of the Megaplex. And yeah, so I used to watch this a bunch of times as a teenager, as it was 2000. Let's see, I was 13, right? 17, because 97 I was 10, 3 years I was 13, right? And so this came out. I remember liking it fine, nothing special. Mickey Rooney is the best thing. I remember him being the best thing in this, and he is some of the best thing. He's just trying to be this old time movie connoisseur and celebrate movies, and he gets shat on by the manager, Sean McGibbon, the entire time. Every time he tries to do something, there's even a part where he's singing to the crowd, and Sean comes out and goes, like it's just, like he's trying to help you, and we find out later, we can see why, but trying to help you and you're acting like that. Yeah. So there's a few red herrings in this of who the Phantom is. But watching this back, it is painfully obvious. And I'm gonna spoil it. It's Sean McGibbon, the manager. It's him. And it's very obvious that it's him, because here's the thing. Every time something happens, like weird stuff starts to happen, Sean just disappears. Like stuff starts to happen in the movie theater. They can't find Sean anywhere. And when they do, he's tied up. Although I wonder how he tied himself up in the basement. To be honest, I don't know how that would work. I hate yawning. I hate it. I don't yawn this much normally until I'm doing these videos. I don't understand why. Anyway, I do wonder how he tied himself up, because it's really weird. And then later when they're looking for him again, they go in his office, he's not there. He's just behind the door, and it's like, oh, he heard them coming and just quickly put the tape and thing in it. Put himself. It's really weird. Like, and it's revealed it's him this time watching. I'm just like, well, yeah, no shit. It's obviously that it's him. He disappears whenever the weird stuff starts to happen. Mickey Rooney is the biggest red herring in the film, because they find he has a secret lair within the theater, which is Phantom of the Opera thing, and he has a poster of the original Phantom of the Opera with Lon Chaney in there, and yeah, it's very obvious they're using him as red herring. They even have Merle the projectionist as red herring earlier in the film, and this little kid is being a dick to him. Like, he's so sure that it's Merle that he's not listening to what he has to say, and he's being a little dick. And then once you find out it's not him, he's like, oh, I better go help you. He doesn't even apologize. It's like, wow. I don't hate this movie. I actually kind of like it. I like there are some specific story beats. Like, oh, they gotta be a little goofy, and there's, like, we never found out if this is true, but, like, this happens, but this kid, Pete, he has a crush on this girl. And, okay, so I forgot to mention this in my review for Goosebumps 2, but I hate the bully trope. And they had a bully in that movie that was just annoying as all hell. And here, this bully is so annoying. Like, they have this story where whatever Pete wants, this guy wants and usually gets it. So Pete has a crush on this girl, and he's even got her and her friend special tickets and everything. And the guy shows, hey, what movie did you get her the tickets to? He's like, I can't recall. But then later, he pops up in the theater. Like, he's talking to her, and he's like, gives her his bow tie, and he's being all nice, and say, hey, I can introduce you to this guy, introduce you to this guy. And then they just walk in, and he's like, hey, you should get out of here. You know, it's like, excuse me, he was talking to those girls first. You come in with popcorn and soda and, like, can take over? I don't think so. They disappear at some point, I don't know. But you get mishaps like gumball machine going haywire, a movie is constantly out of focus. Like, there's some things that are linked with movies, like I really don't know why I keep yawning in these reviews. There's like glimpses of Juliet or something, and it's just out of focus. All you can see is glimpses. Get it? And then a movie where there's water and there's a giant dinosaur monster wedged in the thing. He's got to take a sword and a stone out. He's trying to pull it out. McRooney's like, keep doing it, lad. Keep doing it. And Moreau comes up and goes, you just got to push this button. Pulls it out. Saves the day. There's also a plot thread, a subplot, where the mom and her boyfriend are trying to get the kids. Okay, so there's a bunch of subplots here. The daughter wants to go to a PG-13 horror movie. Her mom says no, but she puts her brother in like a Farmer John movie or something. She goes to the horror movie. Okay, so so after she puts brother in, she walks out to go to her movie, and this old lady comes out and she hides, and I'm like, why are you hiding? You have tickets, right? Your friends bought you a ticket. Just go to the movie. I'm assuming they had tickets. She's not sneaking in and out of this theater. Maybe she didn't have a ticket. I don't know, but she like hides in the stand, and then goes to the movie, and she's sneaking around, and this lady keeps following her for some reason. She's looking around, and they do a parallel thing where she tells her brother to stay there, and then the older brother comes in. He goes, oh, you stay here, wait for your sister to come back. And then in the movie he's watching, he says, you stay here and you don't move. And then when she comes in, he's gone. In the movie, it's like, I told him to stay right here, and now he's just gone. And I'm just like, okay, that's a nice little parallel. But the old lady shows up and goes, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, my brother, I went to the bathroom, and my brother must have went to the bathroom. And she goes to look for him in the bathroom. She made up the story. Why would you think he was actually in the bathroom? But then the lady shows up again. You still having trouble? It's like, lady, go away. And then we see her again for the rest of this movie. But yeah, it's a fun little thrill ride. Fun little movie to watch for the kids and stuff. Why do I keep yawning so much? I don't understand why. I don't get it. I'm not tired. But yeah, I do think that it's, watching it back now, it's very obvious who the Phantom is, since he disappears for large amounts of time. I will say there are Daniel DeSanto, who played Tucker, has a little cameo in this movie. Tucker and I Fear the Dark has a cameo in this movie. You got Mickey Rooney. You got this kid who's in a bunch of stuff back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I don't remember his name or anything, but yeah. Taylor Handy, who played Pete, would go on to be in Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, and he was in Jack Frost a few years earlier as the Rory Buck, the bully turned friend by the end. Around. Yeah, this was fun. I'll give it I'll say it's pretty good. I do recommend it. It's a fun little watch. Shenanigans are wild and run wild, and yeah. So the next one I'm going to be doing is Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, and then hopefully, because I can't seem to find it anywhere, the original Under Wraps on Halloween. I'm going to be reviewing that. That'll be up on Halloween if I can find it. Because everywhere I look, it's the new one. And I don't want to watch that. I want to watch the original one. Because that's the one I grew up with. But, yeah. So what are your thoughts on the Fenman Megaplex? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty. It's a short one, but I'll see you in the next one.